Shelter Pet Day. April 30th is always recognized as that. That today really got me thinking about all the wonderful shelter dogs that are waiting for loving and forever homes. And there are so many gems in those shelters for sure. And of course there's going to be some dogs on there that have some chips on their shoulders and have had bad experiences, but so much of what you see there is actually curable, and I really hope that when you are interested in getting a new dog and adding one to your family, that you do check out your local shelters. Having said that, something really interesting happened to me here recently. I get many phone calls. I get lots of emails about people asking me where they can rehome their pet. I've had students who've done it. I've had strangers who've done it. I've been asked myself if I can take their pets, and of course I can't. If I take everyone, then oh my goodness, I'd be eaten out of house and home. But and through way back when I very first started this and getting into rescue, I was very opinionated. I'm saying that very gently. I was super opinionated. I was very judgmental, upwards to being cruel in my thoughts to people who would give up their pets. How these shelter dogs have gotten into the shelters in the first place. Who could ever do that? What gives you the right to have a pet and then give it up? There are no circumstances that would have excused that behavior of giving up a pet way back then when I very first started. And then as the years have gone on and I've seen situation after situation, and no two are alike, there's the similar threads throughout, but everybody's on their own path and their own journey and own circumstances, and they come about. And recently I had a situation come up where one of my students needed to rehome her dog. And my thought in that moment when receiving this phone call, and I'd worked with them a lot, is, yeah, I understand. I understand, and I'm so sorry that it has come to this. I felt my heart hurt for the both of them. It came out of this place of genuine love for the both of them, and it really made me stop and go, oh my gosh, like, who are you? Like, I've really evolved into this human that instead of being so black and white, I've come to know that life is full of shades of gray, and that everyone has different circumstances. And just like I knew the backstory of this person who had to give up their dog, I knew their backstory intimately. And I never would have villainized her. I never would have. I knew she did everything possible. And frankly, it was not a good fit. Even though she wanted it to be a good fit. She tried. She's done classes, private training, different trainers, read things. I mean, she did everything possible, from exercise to food and vet visits. There was nothing that she didn't try to make the relationship work. And it just was not meant to be. And it was agonizing for her to try to find a new home for her dog. I also knew, and so she asked me at that time if I had known where this dog could go. And so it was just trying to come up with a list of places to call, and it's just who can do it. And giving up your dog is very difficult, in fact. I also knew some students who needed to rehome their dog. Again, they had taken classes. I knew them. I love them. I had adopted a dog to them. They are wonderful humans. They're just like me. And they adopted a dog, and the dog was not for them. He just was not the right fit. And they waited months and months, I want to say at least up until a year's time, to try to find a rescue that would take him. And he did not have significant behavior problems. They were not so significant, not at all. He was a lovely dog, but not the right fit for them. And so they tried, and to no avail, and they could not find a rescue that would take him, and they did not want to just rehome him to any person. They did not want to just throw him into the pound situation. They really cared about this dog, and they loved him deeply, but could not keep him. They just could not do it any longer. And again, that just was a case of not a good fit. And I, back in the day, would have said, well, you picked that dog, then you should keep it. You should love it no matter what. It's a child. It's one of your, how dare you give up that dog? And the thing is, for situations like this, it actually is not healthy for the dog either. It's not healthy for the dog. It's not healthy for the humans. And so eventually they did have to, they did find a rescue to take this dog finally. I mean, it took so long, and they hung on as long as they could. They were desperate. And that, makes me wonder about, if you know, I have a dog, Annie, here, who had the 8 puppies, the A-team. And Annie was left in a backyard. The family had moved away, and there was a lot of chatter around the whole situation of how could this family do this, and so on and so forth. And I guess where it boils down, and where the kind of the rubber meets the road for me, is I don't know what their situation was. I don't know if they were like my family who couldn't, they tried to find her a home and couldn't. I don't know if they were being evicted from their home. I don't know if they were just trying so hard to survive themselves that trying to take care of the dog was the straw that would break the camel's back. I don't know. This is not about excusing the behavior of leaving a dog in the backyard. I don't excuse that. I feel that something could have been done. You could have taken the dog to the pound or something. The choices probably wouldn't be fantastic. They may not have had the competency to find a loving home, know how to work the internet well enough to search or to interview people to see if that was the right fit, or I don't know. And that is what the point I'm trying to get across is I don't know. I don't know what people's situations are. I don't know where they are in their life. I don't know what they're feeling. I don't know what their circumstances are. I wish for every dog to have a home, but I understand hard times come. And I just feel that I've come now at a place of compassion to say, I don't know what their situation is, and I will not pass judgment. I will do the best that I can to help these rescue dogs that come into my care. I will foster, I will contribute money, I will do the things that I can to help these dogs get a home. But I will not judge. It's not constructive. It does nothing to stop the problems. It doesn't help anyone. It just causes this negativity amongst rescue groups. And so during this day of National Adopt a Shelter Dog Day, I hope that I have brought across and am conveying, and I hope it sinks in that there are lovely dogs in these shelters, and how they got there doesn't matter. What matters is that we get them homes and we do what is best and right by them, because they are living, breathing souls, and be a little gentler to one another, because in the shelter and rescue world, it can get kind of crummy. People can say some really cruel things. And so let's not be a part of that. Let's be a part of the solution. Let's help one another out if we see each other struggling. Let's spread kindness and compassion in the rescue world. Let's help people who are needing to rehome as much as we possibly can to our own abilities. And that there will spread kindness and compassion to one another right there. So with that, know that I love you and that you are very loved. Happy National Adopt a Shelter Pet or Rescue Pet Day. Bye-bye.